Welcome to NBC Sports Bay Area, home of the authentic fan. On the final day of the first half of the season, the Giants trying to finish off a sweep against the Washington Nationals on this beautiful Sunday afternoon. The final game of the series and the last game before the All-Star break. Well, the Giants have taken the field, so we're almost ready to go here at Oracle Park. Dave Fleming, Mike Krukow, great to have you with us. Nationals starting lineup brought to you by your Bay Area GMC dealers. And it's a very similar looking lineup to the one that we've seen the last couple of games. Alcides Escobar at the top. Trey Turner, who's just been red hot for the Nats. The shortstop hitting second. Juan Soto, Josh Bell, Starlin Castro, Josh Harrison out in left field. Tres Barrera doing the catching. Yan Gomes on the injured list. Victor Robles. And then Eric Fedde, who's got a great track record of pitching against the Giants. He will bat ninth, and that lineup will face the Giants All-Star starter, Mike, the right-hander Kevin Gausman.
Kevin Gausman, who is 30 years of age, and he's in his 8th year at the big league level and 17 starts this year. He's been stellar. Just a model of consistency. 124 strikeouts and 27 walks in 108 innings. That's dominant. What he does to dominate is really come at you with a two-pitch arsenal, and he's got a curveball and a cutter that he can throw, but for the most part you're going to see a fastball that's mid to high 90s and a great split, and we think it's one of the best in all of baseball, and it's certainly one of the weapons that has landed him on the All-Star team this year deservingly. Let's take a look at the Giants defense. It's sponsored to you by Geico. Starting in their outfield from left to right, it's going to be Dickerson, Duggar, and Yastrzemski, the best arm in center field. Crawford and Flores on the left side of the infield. Solano and Wade Jr. They're on the right side, and Curt Casali, he's in the squat, putting down the signs.
Well, for Kevin Gausman, the first inning has been his toughest inning. So let's see against the best hitters the Nationals have to offer, Escobar, Turner, and Soto. If Gausman can get through the first, get the Giants off to a good start in this one. Alcides Escobar, very rarely does he wait around. Swings at the first pitch of the game. And we are off and running here on this Sunday at Oracle Park. Last game of the series, last meeting in the regular season between the Giants and the Nats in 2021. Escobar, a little pop up, and Mike Yastrzemski is right there to line it up. Out number one.
Just a nice, lazy, comfortable fly ball for out number one. That's how you like to start.
And it brings up Trey Turner, who's having a great year. 322 average, 17 home runs. Brandon Crawford now with one more after his 18th home run yesterday. But I think you make a pretty good argument right now. The two best shortstops playing the best in the National League are playing in this game today. After that first pitch fastball. Well, you can only imagine for Kevin Gausman how excited he must be. He's not going to get to pitch in the All-Star game because he's pitching here today, but he gets to go back home. It's his hometown. Wow. Well, that's what you talked about. It's going to be a small strike zone today.
Well, Marvin Hudson, much like the same two strike zones we've seen in the first two games of this series, it is a tight strike zone. You really have to earn what you get. He is definitely an umpire that favors the hitter.
Turner went after that one, strike two. Good splitter.
When you have an umpire with a tight strike zone, as we watched the split, the first one he threw today, and that's a pitch that just established it in the eyes of every Washington Nationals hitter. But when you have a tight strike zone like we have today, you don't worry about Kevin Gausman because he has such excellent command. He can adjust to it. It's just you know, it's something you don't like, but you can deal with it.
1-2. Turner takes that splitter. Plus, to me, I think it's a good point. Kevin Gausman, most of his strikeouts are not on called strike three. Most of his punch outs are getting hitters to chase that split.
Swing and miss.
Juan Soto waiting on deck. Just underway first inning. Turner strikes out swinging.
That is a great split. Let's take a look at our StatCast 3D powered by Google Cloud, talking about Kevin Gausman and his strikeouts. Take a look at the pitches that he's used this year. 1 strikeout by way of the slider, 33 by way of the four-seamer, and a 90 by way of the splitter. And look at all those splitters below the strike zone, and that is the deception of this pitch. And it's the same location he just struck out Trey Turner.
2 down. Juan Soto hits with the bases empty. Giants have pitched him tough in this series. One of the best hitters in the game, just 22 years old. Fastball high. .402 on base average, 11 home runs. 10 of those 11 home runs for Juan Soto have come away from home. Right at the knees. He got the call that time.
Cut his knees off at 96 miles per hour. Not much of a shift. You see Crawford pulled over about 4 steps towards the bag at second. Flores about 8 steps out of straightaway third base positioning. Interesting, they do take away the bunt with Flores playing even with the bag between first and second. You think of Soto, you don't think of guys who are going to bunt. You think about guys who are going to leave the yard.
Giants fans unhappy. Juan Soto was trying to dig a hole on the back line of the batter's box, and Giants fans got impatient. 1-1. Just outside, maybe a little bit low.
I always see a guy digging. It reminds me of Bob Gibson's famous line. He had a guy digging in against him. He goes, "Yeah, go ahead, dig a hole because I'm going to bury you in it." Pitchers by rule don't normally like guys digging in.
3-1. So Juan Soto and a good hitter's count here. Josh Bell would be next. 3-1 pitch. Soto took a huge cut and missed it.
He's trying to get that one wet. Just a 3-1 challenge. Doesn't want to walk him. Goes at him with the same pitch he got the first strike with. 96'd him right down around the knees. That was power on power.
Here's the 3-2. Soto takes low. Ball 4.
Pumped it up too. That was 97. Little reach back velocity.
2-out walk.
Got a little personal once he started digging that hole. You saw it went to fastball on power. Guys were a little disappointed, I'm sure, that he walked him.
Two down. Bell, who's a more dangerous hitter typically from this side of the plate. Switch hitter. He'll bat left-handed.
Good low ball hitter from the left side.
Takes that pitch for a strike. Sometimes, I mean, Gausman tells us, you know, he likes to every once in a while just throw the straight changeup early in the game, especially because that's the pitch that he'll throw for a strike. And he thinks it looks so similar to it's basically the same pitch as the splitter, but it has a little different movement. And so it plants the seed in the minds of the hitters that the splitter could be a called strike.
Anything you can do to create different movement in the eye of the hitter is a good pitch.
0-2 late on that fastball.
And that doesn't mean just throw any old pitch out over the middle of the plate. I mean, you have to put location on it. But when you are pitching at such a high efficiency rate like Gausman, you know, they are concentrating so hard on the movement of your two big weapons. And when you give them another movement that they're not used to seeing, it's effective. It freezes them.
0-2 to Josh Bell. Gausman. Another fastball foul back again at 97 miles an hour. We know he's got the reach back velocity. He's reaching back here in the first inning today. Bell takes in the dirt and it kicks away from Casali. So that splitter's going to allow Soto to reach scoring position.
That is the definition of a wild pitch. Ball hits, just explodes into the hip of Casale. Tried his best to get a body in front of him, just didn't have the time.
But now it's 1-2 with Soto at second. A walk and a wild pitch. Gausman and Bell did well just to get a piece. Good pitch.
Yeah, 97 right out there, knee high on the outside corner. I mean, Bell's not usually late on fastballs. I mean, he's a very good fastball hitter, but because that split is in the back of his mind, and he's kind of in between right now, he did well to fight that one off.
1-2. Got him swinging. He threw a great splitter to strike out Josh Bell. Couple of strikeouts for Gausman, no runs. Wade Yastrzemski Flores coming up in the bottom of the first.
Giants baseball on NBC Sports Bay Area is brought to you by Toyota. With 10 hybrids to choose from, there's one for everyone. Toyota, let's go places. By Heffernan Insurance, because you're different. By Xfinity, X1 will change the way you experience TV. And by Nextiva. When you need business communication for the office, the home office, and everywhere in between, choose Nextiva.
They were pouring into Oracle Park before the game, coming across the O'Doul Bridge. Giants and the Nationals on this Sunday afternoon. Eric Fedde for the Nats against Lamont Wade Jr. leading off. Nice to see Lamont back in the Giants lineup. He hurt his hand on Wednesday, and we haven't seen him since then. It's been a big part of the Giants offense, especially with Belt out. Wade takes low, 2-0. Well, the Giants saw the very best of Eric Fedde about a month ago in D.C. Since then, it hasn't been quite as smooth for him, and he falls behind Wade 3-0.
Take a look at the year for Eric Fedde. 4-5 with a 4.53 ERA, 52 strikeouts in 59 innings. That's significant for one reason. He's a sinker baller. He's got a power sinker that goes 92 to 96 miles per hour. He also has a he'll cut the fastballs, and he has a slider and a changeup. A lot of ground balls when he's right.
3-1. Wade topped that one foul.
And what's significant about the strikeout number is normally you see a sinker baller. I mean, they at times can be a 1-to-1 strikeout walk ratio, but for him to be averaging almost a strikeout an inning, it tells you an idea as to how good a stuff he has to get the ground ball and be able to strike you out. That's rare.
That's ball 4. Wade takes one outside. So leadoff walk for Lamont Wade Jr. Giants lineup brought to you by your Bay Area GMC dealers. Wade at the top once again today. Yastrzemski Flores. Alex Dickerson back in there as a cleanup hitter. Brandon Crawford has just been awesome this year, and especially lately, hitting over 400 in the last couple weeks worth of games. Solano, Duggar, Casale, and Gausman against this right-hander Eric Fedde, who did not allow a run in 5 innings against the Giants in a doubleheader game start in Washington. Foul ball off the bat of Mike Yastrzemski to start his at bat. Already in some ways an improvement. The Giants didn't draw a walk against Eric Fedde in that game in D.C. When the Giants offense is humming along, the walks are a big part of it. That one is lined to right field, and it's going to get down for a hit. Wade will hustle his way to third base. Soto will keep Yastrzemski at first. First and third, nobody out for the Giants.
Let's take a look at that Washington Nationals defense starting in their outfield from left to right. It'll be Harrison, Robles, and Soto, best arm in center field. It's a good one. Turner and Castro on the left side of the infield. Escobar and Bell on the right side. And Tres Barrera, he'll be in the squad, putting down the signs.
Giants scored 3 in the first inning yesterday. I don't think Gabe Kapler would protest if they wanted to duplicate that today.
Well, he'd take that just about every day, I believe.
Here's Wilmer Flores, who's been in the middle of a lot of the Giants rallies of late. He had a hit against Fedde in that start a few weeks ago. Ball one.
Well, guys who have the ability to inside out the ball, if you're hitting off a right-handed sinker ball from the right side, that's a pitch and a movement that's going to feed your strength. Guys that try and pull and get long, you're going to get jammed.
Low, 2-0.
The guys who can inside out the ball, they use the whole field. They've got a great approach to right center.
Fedde got hit hard his last start down in San Diego on this road trip, the series before the Nats came to San Francisco.
It can happen if you're a sinker ball. You run into a team that's got a lot of low ball hitters.
Wilmer on a 2-0 pitch got jammed and popped it up. Escobar wants it and he'll make the catch. It's a big first out for Erick Fedde. Pop-ups, we never take them for granted here.
Never take them for granted. In fact, we kind of look forward to them because they are entertaining.
And it's not that the Giants don't ever have problems, but the Giants are used to it much more than the teams that visit here. So usually they're more entertaining when the Giants are hitting the pop-ups. And the visitors are trying to catch them. That one just missed. Fedde's starting to realize, this strike zone today, not going to be big.
Not big corners. I mean, this whole crew very similar in that regard.
Giants need to get Alex Dickerson going. He rips that one on a line to second, and it's going to be a double play. Yastrzemski took a step the wrong way, so the Giants at first and third, nobody out, but they do not score.
All right, time now for our StatCast weather conditions. Take a look at our crazy winds here at Oracle Park, and right now they're pretty heavy coming into the face of the hitter. Now that's at the ground level. What is interesting about the winds here is so once they come in home, they hit the stadium and then they kind of turn back around and they go out at a higher rate towards center field. So you do get a push on fly balls to center and for the most part to left field. Blue is helpful to the hitter. Red is blowing in, as you saw. Very seldom do we see any kind of blue at all. Doesn't mean they're not getting help. It's all help up top.
Starlin Castro leads off here in the second for the Nats against Gausman. Fastball low for ball one. And for an afternoon game, it's maybe a tick cooler than usual. A little more marine layer than sometimes this time of day.
What was it like on the west side of the city today?
It was pretty foggy this morning, as opposed to yesterday, where right away in the morning it was bright sunshine.
See that? It's going to be a warm day.
Castro takes a strike. 2-1.
Oracle Park's on the east side of the city of San Francisco, and it's just completely different weather here. You don't see as much of the marine layer in the morning, and if you do see any at all, it burns off very quickly. So usually you get a lot of sunshine over here.
Castro against the splitter, 2-2.
Think about the splitter that Gausman has today. It's as good as we've seen early in a game. I mean, he's got it going. And none of that, but he's got some high velocity going on that four-seam fastball.
2-2 to a hot hitter. Starlin Castro's been getting a lot of hits lately. Takes that splitter. 3-2. That one had a little too much bite.
Well, too much bite's a good thing.
That's exactly right.
Not enough bite is a concern.
Josh Harrison waiting on deck. Giants a chance to sweep this three-game series. We know they're going to have the best record in the major leagues at the All-Star break. They've already locked that in. 3-2. Castro on the ground toward the hole. Backhanded by Crawford. Across the body throw and picked out, not in time. Wow, what an effort from Crawford and from Lamont Wade. I'm sure the Giants want to take a look.
They're all saying, wait a second, and in the Giants dugout. And I think just the reaction from Lamont Wade, I think what the concern they had was Lamont Wade, was he in touch with the base when he was reaching, pulling in the ball in the dirt?
Yeah, he was safe.
He was safe, but what a spectacular play from Crawford to make it even close. And on the backside of it, a spectacular play from Wade.
It was.
Play called correctly. Wow.
I think the Nationals are just about sick of Brandon Crawford by now. Harrison, ouch. Right off his foot or his ankle. Crawford has put on a show.
It's every day.
It is.
He is playing at such an incredible level, and it's everything. It's high baseball IQ, which gives you a great first step of anticipation to whichever way you feel that ball is going to go. Then to get to wherever he gets to balls and be able to get a throw off with accuracy to first base.
On the ground, foul. He was a little late on that fastball.
But our ball dude there, man, picking it clean with no glove.
That got out there in a hurry. Oh, 2. Got him swinging. Foul tip right into the mid of Casale.
Third strikeout, all swing and miss strike threes. Well, baseball's two biggest events of the summer are back-to-back. The action begins tomorrow as the T-Mobile Home Run Derby is on ESPN Monday at 5 p.m. Pacific. Then catch baseball's biggest stars at the 91st MLB All-Star Game Tuesday on Fox. Coverage begins at 4 p.m. Pacific. Looking forward to it.
Me too. Shohei Ohtani, I think, is going to be the star of the week.
Oh, man. I can't wait to see what he does in that home run contest.
I can't wait to watch Brandon Crawford get to play in the game. Posey's hurt. Gosman's pitching today, so Crawford's going to be the one Giant to actually play in the game. He and Fernando Tatis, that's a pretty good shortstop combo.
I'd take my chances.
Trey Turner as well. I mean, those three good players. Really good. Tres Barrera has played a lot this series because of the injury to Yan Gomes. Takes a big cut.
Hey, I think he's had good at bats too. Yep.
Sunday
that's a gamer right there. He comes to every game. Has been since Candlestick days.
Yeah. Loves his Giants. 0-2. Barrera's nodding like, okay, yeah, yes, Tress, it's a good splitter.
Yeah, I get it now. I understand all the fuss. And guess what? You're probably going to see another one.
Took this one. Good block by Casale. That keeps Castro at first.
You know, the one thing about a magic pitch, which Gosman has, is at times you have to remind yourself to use your other pitches. Because you can get split happy.
It's hard to blame him when he does because it's such a great pitch. But he's got a great fastball too, and he just used it to strike out Barrera.
Yeah, and the elevation too. That was all part of the plan that Casale had. You've already established at the knees and below with the split. Why not come up top with 97? And in a 2-strike count, there's your reach back and shoots it right by a good fastball hitter.
It's really a good point you make, because I mean the splitter is one of the best pitches in baseball, but so is his fastball. He gets tons of swings and misses. Not much damage against the fastball. He throws it like that. It's pretty tough to hit. Four strikeouts already for Gausman. 8th place hitter Victor Robles with a runner on and 2 down, and he takes a strike. It's 0-2.
They're still looking for that split.
Yeah.
2 pitches, 2 fastballs, and not a swing. See the high target. They want to elevate by design, and right now he's just painting with high velocity. If he wants it around the knees, you're getting it around the knees. You want it around the letters, he's putting it around the letters.
0-2 on the ground with a very, very defensive kind of swing. Stayed alive.
I thought he did well there just to get a piece. That's how good that pitch was.
They are making him work a little bit. This is his 36th pitch in the first 2 innings. 0-2. Just missed.
Go right back up there again. He could put a split down around the knees. Can do 2-seam fastball inside and let it fall out of the strike zone in.
Pretty close.
Gausman's got a good move. To have a good move from a right-hander, you have to have quick feet. And the really great base stealers will tell you that they'd rather steal off a left-hander than a right-hander. Because they see the left-hander a lot better than they do the right-hander.
They got him this time. Nationals hold up all the hands in the dugout, so we got to wait and see.
Always helps to have a left-hander first baseman. That's a quick tag.
Hard to tell there, but I think they got him.
Dan Bellino gets it right.
The pickoff. The Nats are retired. No score, middle 2. Today is Anchor Brewing Splash Hit Sunday. Be on the lookout if a Giants player hits a home run into McCovey Cove today. The San Francisco original. Anchor Brewing will donate $10,000 to the Giants Community Fund, and will give a pair of 2022 Giants season tickets to a lucky fan. Visit anchorsplashhit.com to enter for your chance to win. And don't forget to raise your anchor.
It's good beer.
Giants wearing their City Connect uniforms. Anchor got new unis, what, about a year ago? Whole new look.
Yeah, they did. Didn't recognize him.
I'm used to it now. Here's a guy who could hit one into the Cove. Brandon Crawford instead will just line the first pitch into right center field for a leadoff hit.
Let's take a look at the play that ended it for the Nationals. The pickoff. And a very quick tag, and I don't know. I think the Giants may have caught a break, but I think it may have been a tie. But once it's been called, there's not enough there to overturn it.
Yeah, Nationals didn't want to challenge because they just weren't sure. And I think I understand Davey Martinez. Different spot in the lineup, different circumstance in the inning, maybe a challenge. Solano takes ball 1.
Well, it is frustrating for a manager, and he wants an explanation from an umpire, but he's always going to get the same response from the umpire. Don't talk to me. Write a letter to the guys in New York.
And the other thing that sometimes is easy to forget. That's a strike to Solano. The managers totally rely on whoever is in the video room. I mean, the manager isn't looking at replays. He's just got to trust to get word, right or wrong, challenge, no challenge.
not something you don't want to give up early in the game. I mean, it's not so much of an issue in a playoff game because you get 2 in a playoff game, but in a regular game you get 1 until the 7th inning, when you can ask an umpire to review, and you never get denied. I mean, it always gets granted that request.
1-1. Solano swings through that high breaking ball from Fedde.
You know, it's one of those things when you're playing a good team and it's likely to be a 1-run game, and a 90-foot increment could often decide the outcome of a ball game, and you don't want to give that replay up early in a game.
Long pause, 1-2. Solano takes strike 3 call. That one was right there. So 1 out, and now a word via WebEx by Cisco.
We need that part.
It's nearly done.
Can you repeat that? That's better.
It's done.
With WebEx, the McLaren Formula One team is collaborating like never before. Introducing the WebEx Suite, driving hybrid work.
Steven Duggar for the Giants. Crawford at first, 1 out, no score, bottom 2. Giants already have 2 hits plus a walk. Got a little unlucky in the first inning. Duggar takes ball 1, hit a line drive that turned into a double play instead of a hit and a run and who knows what. Called a strike.
Starting to zero in that sinker. Backdoor sinker he threw Donovan Solano was as nasty as you could get, and now he comes across the other side of the plate and gets the outside corner against the lefty.
Former first-round pick of the Nationals. He's never established consistency. He's had flashes. I mean, you can see the talent. You can see why he was a first-round pick.
It's about time. He's 28 years old.
Yeah.
He's in his 3rd year at the big league level.
A lot of ups and downs for this guy. Duggar ahead of the count, 2-1. Duggar swings through that pitch, 2-2.
Nice tight little cutter.
Duggar's had a quiet week. He's 5 for his last 34 coming into this game. He was just red hot before that. Crawford gets back safely. Crawford's already tied his career high for steals in a year.
And he's sneaky the way he gets him. He totally takes advantage of a guy's slow delivery out of the stretch. Guy who's not paying attention to him, paying more attention to the hitter. He senses that.
Duggar hits one hard on one hop, and it kicks right over Escobar into shallow right field. Crawford never hesitated, and he'll go around to third. That's a hit for Steven Duggar.
Well, he catches that ball. It's a double play. Innings over. We're going to commercial break. Here, a high hopper just off the tip of the glove of Escobar. And instead, you get a 1st and 3rd 1-out situation. Duggar hit that ball hard.
He did.
A lot of loud contact his first time through the lineup for the Giants against Fedde.
A lot. Let's see if they can take advantage of that loud contact. Curt Casali, who's had a lot of good at bats lately, got the average up to 215. Hitting with a lot more power. This is the guy the Giants signed in the offseason. Casali hit 7 home runs last year in the shortened year. Not a lot of at bats. You got the pitcher on deck, so with one out, this is a big spot for Casale. Try to at least get one home. He had a good swing.
The other thing too, he's getting good pitches to hit, and he's much more confident in his strike zone, taking the pitches that favor the pitcher to location, staying in the strike zone.
Casale to deep center field. Victor Robles going back, all the way back, gone! He's done it again. Curt Casale, man, what a hot streak. His 4th home run of the year. 420 to center field to make it 3-0 Giants.
And how do you hit a sinker ball? Well, you look up. And that's exactly what Casale got. He got a pitch up. Second one in the at-bat. He just missed the first one, and boom, he unloads, and he knew it.
Kevin Gausman takes strike one.
Let's take a look from the splash cam. You can see just how far over the wall this thing goes in center field. There's a bomb.
Yeah. Totally turned his season around. And he got healthy.
Simply got healthy.
You know, you appreciate a guy trying to play through some pain and discomfort. And that's exactly what Curt did. And he was an excellent defensive player, and he was catching all those shutouts. But it also, it's just a great example of how even just something that seems pretty small that you say, okay, I can play through, can totally affect your game.
Well, he just proved he was a veteran, because you really didn't know what he was hitting the way he carried himself on and off the field.
Yeah.
And he definitely found a way to make contribution by the way he was catching. Got 5 shutouts in a row. How does that even happen?
3-2. Gausman stays alive.
I mean, 2 weeks ago he was hitting 100. I mean, he was just happy to be on the interstate. Now he's at 222 after that last hit. But it's not just the fact that he put in 122 points, it's how he's been doing it. It's been loud.
Yeah, it's not just a bunch of little ground ball singles. That's ball 4. Kevin Gausman draws a walk. How about that?
Yeah, that's a break in concentration. You give up a 3-run homer, and it can happen even to a pitcher. You're still thinking about the pitch that went over the center field wall, and all of a sudden you find yourself in a 3-ball count to a pitcher. You goose one up there and miss, and now the rally starts all over again.
Lamont Wade Jr., who walked to start the bottom of the first inning. Swings at the first pitch here.
Another sinker up. When a sinker gets up, it loses its sink. It starts to flatten out. You get fade instead of sink.
Inside. Still only one out. Gausman after the walk at first base. That is strike 2.
Front door sink, good pitch. But that first base side of the plate's been good to him. That's where he struck out Solano on that backdoor sinker. Here he goes front door with the left-hander hitting Wade up.
Up and away. Tried that cutter there, missed with it. Mike Yastrzemski has a hit in this game. He's on deck.
Petty is not on top of his release point. He's got some push in his delivery. That's why he's missing a lot of pitches up.
Ball 3. 3-2 is called strike 3. Wade was sure it was ball 4. 2 down.
Right at the base of the strike zone. Haven't seen that one called a strike today, but I mean, they definitely one that you should think about protecting in a 2-strike count.
Two down for Mike Yastrzemski. Hard hit single his first time up. Takes the breaking ball for a strike. One and one. Some of those high clouds up above. Beautiful Sunday, last day before the All-Star break. Called a ball. Mike Yastrzemski, last year if there'd been an All-Star game he would have gone. He's having a good year this year. Ahead in the count, 3-1.
Another push. That release we're talking about for Fedde underneath it.
I kind of feel bad about that about Yaz because he's never been to an All-Star game, and last year he clearly would have been an All-Star.
First time you go is the best time. You're like a kid in a candy store.
3-1 on the ground and kind of in between the defense. Can Escobar make the play? No, I don't think he was going to get him anyway. But the ball disappeared on him.
See how they played the defense, and once it got to Escobar in the outfield, it was going to be an awkward play for him. He knew he had to hurry the exchange. He just couldn't get a grip on it.
They're giving Yastrzemski a hit, and I think that's the right call. It was not a guarantee. It was an ordinary effort. But he did have a chance to get him watching that replay. If he'd made a clean exchange. Wilmer drops down to a knee. Flores 0 for 1. 3 runs in here in the second inning on the Casali home run. Pitch number 46 for Erick Fedde. He got Wilmer to chase there, which really we have not seen much of at all lately.
Well, and that's significant because guys who have really great stuff, it's usually late breaking. And late breaking stuff is the type of movement that guys will chase out of the strike zone. And the point you make is a good one. And I just don't think we've seen Fedde have that great snap that we saw in Washington.
Well, Wilmer went after that one. Strike 3 swinging. But the Giants are on the board in a very big way. How good has Curt Casali been lately? Really good. Another home run for Casali. And it was a big fly. 420 to straightaway center field. Giants through 2 have a 3-0 lead.
Is presented by the authority of the San Francisco Giants and may not be reproduced or retransmitted in any form. And the accounts and descriptions of this game may not be disseminated without the express written consent of the San Francisco Giants Baseball Club, LLC.
Well, Silver Oak, an official wine partner of the San Francisco Giants, collaborated with the team to release 3 limited edition etched bottle designs featuring the club's classic logos. The classic SF logo is available as a single bottle starting at $115 each, or you can collect all 3 of them with a Giants 3-bottle collection set on silveroak.com and get them while supplies last.
Hey, look who's here.
Well, there's Rusty Phillips, our camera person and the Giants dugout side with his daughter Cassidy and his wife OU. And that is a good-looking bunch right there.
Yeah, I was really talking about OU and Cassidy because we see Rusty plenty. Chance to be a fan today. Eat some popcorn.
She's growing up fast, boy.
Yeah, no kidding. A Buster Posey fan.
Aren't we all?
Me too, Cassidy. Here's Victor Robles, who was at the plate when the top of the second inning ended. Gausman picked off Starlin Castro, so he starts fresh. The eighth place hitter and bunts. Third base side. Wilmer, tough play. Bare hand throws to first. Got him. Nicely done.
So you want to be a big league third baseman, huh? All right. Well, the deal is you have to be able to make this play. Nice job from Robles. He showed late, had a little too much steam on it perhaps, but still watches the ball right into the hand. Wilmer Flores unloads a strike to Wade. Ball in hand, right foot release. Grab some pine meat.
Wilmer has worked so hard to get better over there, and it's paid off. Strike one to the pitcher, Eric Fedde. 3-0 Giants on a Curt Casale home run. Fedde hadn't had a hit this year. He hadn't had many hits in his career.
No, he's not much of a hitter, at least not on breaking balls.
Oh, 2. Yeah, he threw it again. Why not? Fifth strikeout for Gausman, first time through the order. And now a brief message from Pacifico. Two down, top of the order, Alcides Escobar, his second at bat of the day. Giants battled against him in the 2014 World Series with the Royals, longtime Royals player.
Meanwhile, Batman and Robin just floated into the cove.
We got some stuff going on over there, or what? Everybody behaving themselves, I hope.
Nice breaking ball from Gausman. I mean, that's the thing. You're so concerned about the two-pitch fastball split combination, you forget he's got a good breaking ball too.
Misses with that fastball. Two and one. Kevin will take a deep breath. Keeping score at the game.
Relaxing.
Threw that breaking ball again. Or maybe that was a splitter.
Well, it was an off-speed pitch that he was definitely fooled on. Those are the kind of swings and misses you have a talk with yourself afterwards. You say the silent prayer. Please don't throw that one again, Lord.
Let's see if his prayer's answered. He threw it again. Gausman did. Different location. A lot of K's on that card so far.
5 strikeouts the first time through the lineup.
Very confident. He's got the pen, not the pencil.
Better man than I am.
I went to the electronic, so I can just use the little magic erase.
Yeah, I'm impressed.
3-2. Got him looking. Great fastball right at the knees. And that's the 6th strikeout for Gausman. Middle of the third. 3-0 Giants.
Giants baseball on NBC Sports Bay Area is brought to you by WebEx. The future of work is hybrid. WebEx by Cisco.
Alex Dickerson for the Giants here in the bottom of the third. 3-0 Giants lead.
That's the one pitch from Erick Fedde that just has not been there today. That breaking ball, I mean, he's left a ton of them up high and away to lefties.
Dickerson rips that one into right field. So this time he hits a line drive and gets a hit out of it. And it's not just a hit, it's an extra base hit. Leadoff double.
And after a tough second inning, boom, Fedde right back in his stretch. One pitch. 2 pitches. Take a look at that second pitch of the inning. Tries another breaking ball and just hangs it middle in right at the belt. And Dickerson, as soon as he saw his ball get by Soto to the wall, he was taken off for second. They shaded him over to right center. He just hit away from the defense.
So now Crawford. $18 for his last 33. I mean, what a finish to the first half.
Putting on a show.
With the glove, with the bat, with the base running. One and one.
He's looking at the pole on that 1-0 count. One thing he will do, he may look for a fastball, but he will definitely change up location in the middle of an at-bat. Look inside early, look away late.
Out of play, 1-2. I mean, it is such a talented group at shortstop in the National League. You figure Corey Seager got hurt. He was having a big year for the Dodgers. Add him to the mix. I mean, those 3 guys, the way they're playing, power, the defense, the base running, all of it. On the ground to third. It's a fair ball. Castro made a nice effort, but he couldn't get him. When you're hot, you're hot.
That's exactly what that is. You don't get those when you're 2 for 20. But you do when you're 15 for 33. Just a little backhanded swinging bunt. So Giants have set the table again.
Jim Hickey's coming out.
Well, what his concern is right now for Fedde, in that Fedde's a sinker baller, is how you're going to get him back down around the knees, because he's missing a lot of pitches up. So they'll have a meeting on the mound. That's a Nextiva meeting. When you need business communication for the office, the home office, and everywhere in between, choose Nextiva.
It's a long meeting. A lot to say from Jim Hickey.
I mean, it's a long meeting for a simple message. Get the ball down. How do you do that as a pitching coach? Well, first thing you do is tell them to shorten your stride. And if you can shorten your stride 2 inches when you're out there on the mound, that's a lot, but it forces you to get up on top. It takes away the push that he has in his delivery.
That one had some bite to it.
And he lowered his sights a bit, but it all gets back to the release point. When you're underneath it, you're pushing it, it's very hard to make the correction to get back up on top.
1-1.
But since the meeting, those are the 2 best breaking balls he's throwing today.
Yep. That makes a pitching coach look good. Makes it look like he knows what he's talking about.
Well, Jim Hickey, he's really good. He's a good mechanic.
Been around a long time. Solano to center field. Robles is there, though, to make the catch.
Well, as Oracle Park has reopened at full capacity for our fans, now's the best time to support your team as a second half season ticket member. Go to sfgiants.com/season and check it out.
Lots of big time games coming up. Dodgers will be here twice. Padres still to come. The Mets, the Astros, Giants. If you look at just the pure numbers, winning percentage of your opponents, Giants have one of the very toughest schedules in the second half of anybody.
And they get right after it out of the break. Cardinals, Dodgers, then they have the Pirates here at home, then they have the Dodgers and the Astros. I mean, it's a tough series.
Got away from the catcher. That advances both runners.
That's such a significant play, but it's even more important when you lose the force, when you allow runners to move up from first to second to third, because you're not going to get a double play. For a guy that puts the ball on the ground like Fedde, that's got to be a consideration for a pass ball. That ball's got to get caught.
Yeah, it makes you wonder, was he expecting something else?
May have been crossed up. And even if he was, it's a veteran move for Barrera to come walking out and have a mound meeting to make everybody think that he got crossed up.
That's a good self job. It is a pass ball.
So they used up a couple of mound visits this inning.
Nats fans pacing as the Giants look to break this game open. Steven Duggar, who had a base hit his first time up. Infield comes in after that pass ball in the dirt. 2-0.
Well, that's the other thing. You're down 3-0. You got a guy like Gausman who's spinning like he is. If you're David Martinez, the skipper of the Nationals, you can't afford to go down more runs, so you have to gamble. You lose the force, number one. Number two, you have to bring your infield in. Big opportunity here for the Giants.
See if Duggar can hit a ball hard somewhere. Dickerson at third, Crawford at second. He took a big rip, chased one off the inside. We were talking to Gabe Kapler the other day. Gabe loves to bring the infield in. He does it very aggressively. He said in Philadelphia they spent a ton of time just looking hard at how much extra range your fielders get. And while you definitely get some if you play back, Gabe thinks that if it's a tight game, reasonably tight, there's a lot of value in bringing the infield in.
You know, I mean, it doesn't sound like a big thing, but when you have a good grounds crew that keeps that grass cut the way it is here at Oracle Park, where you can get some consistency and you get your hops are true, you don't mind it as an infielder coming in. Bad infield, you do.
Duggar went after that one, down and in, 3-2.
And you also don't like to come in on turf. It's too quick.
Yeah. We don't have that problem too much anymore. Even the few artificial surfaces that the Giants regularly play on. Arizona, it's pretty quick, but not like the old turf.
That's as good a turf as I've ever seen.
Full count, 3-2. Duggar takes strike three called.
So in this sequence, he threw some good breaking balls, and that's what he threw for the payoff pitch. Strikeout number 4. Takes out the inside corner.
And the real significance of that, a lot of significance, but now Casale is going to be walked intentionally. That does load the bases up, but it's going to be up to the pitcher.
Well, Gausman's had such a great first half with the glove and the arm. He's also had a good first half with the bat.
He has. For a guy who doesn't have much experience hitting in his career, he wasn't quite ready to go. Gausman, he needs a minute. That's where the old intentional walk, where you had to actually set up and throw the 4 pitches, would have helped Gausman there.
Yes, it would.
Eric Fedde trying to work through this jam. He walked Gausman back in the second inning after the Casale home run.
If you're Dickerson, be ready for a ball in the dirt.
Yeah, got to be aggressive. Low strike. Oh, and 2.
2 pitches, and those are the 2 of the best sinkers location-wise we've seen back-to-back all day from Fedde. Those are perfect.
Went off the outside that time. Gausman wouldn't chase. I mean, Kevin, one thing about Kevin in the batter's box, he looks pretty comfortable. The way he even just takes a pitch.
He looks a whole lot better than he did the first month.
Yeah. He tracks the ball. That time he chased and strikes out swinging. So Fedde gets through the jam. Giants do not score. John will come over and join Mike on the TV side. It's 3-0 Giants.
Giants baseball on NBC Sports Bay Area is brought to you by Toyota. With 10 hybrids to choose from, there's one for everyone. Toyota, let's go places. By Kelly Moore Paints, the Painter's Paint Store. And by Mercury Insurance. Get a quote at mercuryinsurance.com.
Welcome back to Oracle Park. It is 3-0 Giants here as we head to the top of the 4th inning. Now we would like to introduce our Hall of Famer and my pal John Miller. John, welcome.
Hey, and we're excited for the Home Run Derby tomorrow, the All-Star Game on Tuesday, and usually I get excited for the All-Star Game and to see the Giants uniforms on the field with all the uniforms of the other teams, which apparently they've removed that from the All-Star Game this year in their infinite wisdom, which I don't get. But
I don't get either.
I have a tape that I found on the internet from 1971 when the All-Star Game was in Detroit. The lineups introduced. They went out to the foul lines. Willie Mays led off. Hank Aaron hit second. Joe Torre hit third. Stargell fourth. McCovey fifth. And 50 years after the fact, I watched that and I got kind of proud and excited to see the Giants uniforms out on to the field in the All-Star Game and hear the fans in an American League Park cheering for Mays and McCovey and Aaron and whatnot. That was always a great part of the All-Star Game and festivities in #IMHO.
My humble opinion. Well, I share that opinion. I wish they would allow guys to wear their own uniforms.
Trey Turner leads off as we start the 4th inning. The Giants ahead 3-0.
I mean, I think that's one of the things about baseball that is so cool when you take a look at baseball's history is the uniforms that teams wore. And I love the fact that you've got some classic uniforms that today resemble the uniforms that teams wore 100 years ago. They haven't really changed that much, and I love that.
Check swing. Did he go? No.
You know, I mean, look, maybe we're a little jaded here in the Bay Area because we have National League Baseball, we have American League Baseball across the Bay, and fans get a chance to see all the different uniforms that come into the Bay Area because both leagues are represented. But when you're in Colorado, I mean, for the most part, you don't get a chance to see the American League uniforms very often.
Strike 3 called. 7th strikeout for Gausman.
Let's take a look at the payoff pitch. You see the high target. This is a fastball. It winds up being wrapped around the outside corner at the knees. That is nasty.
So he's had 7 strikeouts in 3 1/3 innings. 2 on called third strikes. Here's Juan Soto, who walked his first time. Giants with a 3-run lead, a 3-run second inning homer by Curt Casali. On 1 the count.
He's carving turkeys right now, the way that he's shaving that strike zone with high velocity fastball and a high performance split. And oh yeah, by the way, he's got a breaking ball they're not getting good swings at either.
.96-mile-an-hour heat off the inside.
It is the ultimate puzzle when you're a team like the Nationals that are offensive. They lead the National League in team batting average. You know, they know they can swing the bat. When you're facing a guy who's got all of his tools working like Gausman is today, I mean that's a puzzle. It's what they're talking about in the dugout. It's what they're thinking about in the on-deck circle. Carries right into the batter's box.
This Nationals team losing the guy who is the hottest hitter on the planet. Kyle Schwarber, he's on the injured list. Diving, knocking it down. Wade, no play. Soto has an infield hit.
Well, it's an outstanding play just to stop the ball from going down the line with Soto's speed. If it gets by Wade, it's going to be a 2-base hit. When he stops it down, the ball kicks away. Just didn't have an opportunity to recover. Soto's speed doesn't give you that much time. Just could not keep it in the pocket as it hit the tip of the web.
Juan Soto, it's only his 3rd hit in 21 at bats against Giants pitching this year. Josh Bell now, the powerful switch hitter, struck out his first time. Soto back to the bag at first. Gausman has a pickoff today. He picked off Starlin Castro to end the 2nd inning. Rockies have tied the Padres, by the way, on the out-of-town scoreboard. 4th inning in San Diego, 1-1. He went after it, didn't get it. 94 miles an hour on the outside, up. C.J. Cron hit a home run for the Rockies in the 4th inning down in San Diego. Strike 2, the foul right back to the screen.
2 pitches upstairs.
The view from the upper deck in left field, kind of a cool view. You see the whole panorama of the ballpark. Not hit hard. Crawford, and safe at first. Casali hustled down the 3rd baseline to cover there. The Giants had the overshift and nobody at 3rd base to begin with.
Well, he was playing so far towards second base that when he finally got over to the slow chop on the right side, it just wasn't enough time to get Josh Bell, who for a guy his size runs pretty well.
Well, he needed all of his speed to beat that one. And that's 2 infield hits in a row now for the Nationals. And Starlin Castro will come up, who himself had an infield hit. Nats have 3 hits in the game, all infield hits. Giants have had a few of their own the last couple of days here. 2 men on, 1 man out. Ball 1. Josh Harrison on deck. The Nats with an opportunity here. Back to the screen.
Just good movement in on the hands. Castro's mentioned, he's been swinging the bat well. You know, you can get in on the hands with a fastball and a guy that's hot, you made a good pitch.
That one high and foul off the left field line. He might have cracked his bat hitting that one. I think he did. Hit it right off the end of the bat.
Yeah, it didn't sound pure.
And a souvenir for some fans down the left field line. New piece of wood there for Starlin Castro. He's been around for a long time. Time was that he was the young wonderkin of the Chicago Cubs. The argument was not about whether he's going to make it, it's just when they should bring him up. Crawford. There's one. Solano to first. Two. A double play. The inning is over. Top of the order, Wade, Yastrzemski, Flores coming up.
All right, time for the Allstate Good Hands plays of the first half. And well, we have to talk about Mike Tauchman and what he did, robbing Albert Pujols on a walk-off home run May 28th in LA. The Giants would win that ball game. And then we go back to June 11th in Washington, and Tauchman would rob Juan Soto of a game-time home run and a preserved and Anthony DeSclafani 1-0 shutout. Allstate Good Hand plays from Mike Tauchman, who's playing today for Sacramento. Walked in his first at bat today.
He's been on his rehab assignment. And Tommy La Stella, same thing. Lamont Wade Jr., and that is called a strike. Wade has walked and been called out on strikes. Yastrzemski on deck. 3-0 Giants. 1 ball and 1 strike now. Those 2 catches, it's not just that he caught him, but the implication in those games. He preserved a tie because Pujols would have been a walk-off home run. And Pujols thought he had done it. He was ready to start walking off. And Soto's in Washington would have been a game-tying home run late in the game. Harrison over to make the catch on that one. He was slicing back in his direction.
Another good at bat. Fedde in the last inning has really got better stuff, better command of stuff. He's now on top of the ball and he's no longer pushing the ball. But still, Giants having good at bats against the best stuff that he has. This is a guy who's 2-0 lifetime against the Giants.
He beat Gausman a month ago in Washington in the first game of a doubleheader, and that was the first loss of the year for Gausman. It was a 7-inning game, and he pitched 5 shutout innings. In those 7-inning games, the 6th inning is the equivalent of the 8th inning of a 9-inning game. So they went to their 8th and 9th inning guys after he'd given them 5. 3-0 the count. He had things kind of going on at that time, but his last couple of starts have been rather shaky. That's a called strike. His last start in San Diego, he gave up 6 runs in 4 1/3 innings. And before that at Philadelphia, 5 runs in 4 innings. Yaz pulls it foul. Yaz has had 2 hits in 2 at-bats. Line drive single to right, and a line drive that took a big hop over the head and off the glove of Alcides Escobar back in the 2nd inning. So Yaz 2 for 2. They've got the overshift on. And right to Escobar. No bad hop this time. 2 down. Giants got all of their runs in the second inning. Brandon Crawford a single, Duggar a single, and then Casale, boom, big fly, 3-run homer. And that has been all of the scoring. The Giants have had a lot of chances to get more. They've had a first and third, nobody out, and didn't score. They've had a first and second, nobody out, and came up empty. Flores, who has popped up to second and struck out, 0-1 the count.
It's good 0-1 location. Notice how the misses now are happening down or below the knees. Before, he's missing a lot of pitches up.
Robles over toward the big part of the yard, plenty of room. And the Giants, for the first time, go down in order in this game. 3-0 Giants on to the 5th.
Giants baseball on NBC Sports Bay Area is brought to you by the Cheesesteak Shop. Nominate your hometown hero and the Cheesesteak Shop will do them right.
Giants with a 3-0 lead over the Nats as we go to the 5th inning. Here in the final game before the All-Star break, Josh Harrison leads off against All-Star right-hander Kevin Gausman. And it's too low, ball 1. That was interesting. 89 miles an hour with a lot of sink to it. Is that just a really hard splitter?
Well, or a changeup. I mean, he's got both. And he'll throw that changeup to get a strike like he just did. Or he did get the strike, but he was trying to with it.
Out of play with a fastball. 1 ball and 1 strike.
I mean, Gausman for the longest time was a 4-pitch pitcher. Fastball, curveball, slider, change. Pretty much the traditional 4. And then he learned the split. And as you know, he uses that primarily as his #1 secondary pitch. He still has that changeup that he'll throw.
2-1 now. Harrison. A swinging 3rd strike in the 2nd. Hey, hey.
That's my dad.
Come on, sit over with us.
Oh, yeah. Happy, happy.
And fouled to the right side of the backstop.
This is a happy place we get to come to every day. Well, every day the Giants are playing here.
Although during the pandemic, we just come here every day, no matter where they're playing.
It is different when there's nobody here.
It's beautiful, but not as happy. That is the 2nd time that Harrison has struck out today.
Well, become a member of the 415 coming soon to a ballpark near you. Tune in after the All-Star break for more details. The 415.
What is it? What is it?
So we're going to find out.
Here is Tres Barrera. Struck out his first time. The Nats regular catcher Yan Gomes got hurt the first night in on Friday and placed on the injured list yesterday. Barrera called a strike on the outside at 96 miles an hour. They put McGowan, the reliever, on the injured list after yesterday. Remember, he had to leave the game a little prematurely with an injury. That's right there. Strike 2 call. They brought up a reliever who was here on the taxi squad, Machado. This is a Max Scherzer fan. Max Scherzer will be heading to the All-Star game. In the dirt outside. Because Gausman's pitching today, he's listed as inactive for the All-Star game. So maybe Max Scherzer was added to the team as a replacement for Gausman. Although it's not just Gausman is not the only one who won't be pitching in the All-Star game. But they're both here, so I'm going to go with that. 1 and 2. And another strikeout. Number 9 in 4 2/3 innings for Gausman.
Cannot throw a split any better than that. It's impossible. Take a look at the unique grip that he has with the split. It's the only guy I've ever seen throw it this way. And the ball just gets up and dies. And the whole time Barrera was pulling the trigger, he's thinking he's hitting at a fastball, and then it just disappears on him.
Victor Robles, foul on the third base side.
Bob Henley, the third base coach, making a play. Good bay, Bob.
Now the pitcher is due up next.
We have some action in the Nationals bullpen. It's Wander Suero.
Broken bat. Flores. Inning over. 3 up, 3 down. 5 strong in the books for Gausman. 3-0 Giants. Crawford coming up second.
Well, to start the Giants' second half of the 21 home schedule, the Pittsburgh Pirates are coming to Oracle Park for a weekend series July 23rd to 25th and Saturday July 24th 6:05 start. Be one of the first 15,000 fans and receive a Lucille Flipper beanie presented by StubHub. Get tickets to the Pirates Giants weekend games at sfgiants.com.
Alex Dickerson leads off for the Giants last of the 5th inning. He's hit the ball hard twice. And a foul. He hit a line drive, but right to the second baseman, who turned it into a double play to end the first inning. Then he hit a line drive down the right field line for a double leading off to third. So he's made solid contact both of his at bats. He's 1 for 2. Eric Fedde down and away. 1 ball and 1 strike.
A couple of Nationals fans finding a nice seat out there. Cable car.
Man, that spun right back over the outside edge at the knees. 1 and 2.
Yeah, good backdoor breaking ball. That's one thing you learned about San Francisco. You don't ever call them trolley cars. They're cable cars.
Strike 3 called. Great placement. 95 miles an hour, no less.
Well, take the Giants out to go this season and stream the games on NBCSportsBayArea.com and the My Teams app. Brought to you by your NorCal Honda dealers.
Brandon Crawford. He has hit a line drive single to right, and he got an infield hit down the third baseline in the 3rd inning. He's 2 for 2. 19 hits in his last 9 games. 34 at bats. Change up for a called strike. Brandon's average for the year up to 288 now. And it's gone up, what, about 30 points or more in the 9-game hitting streak. I mean, there are hitting streaks and then there are hitting streaks. 19 hits in a 9-game streak. Now that's a lot of hitting. High and foul off the left field line.
And then, you know, you go back and look inside of it as to where the hits are going. A lot of hits to the left side of second base. A lot of extra base hits. A lot of loud contact. I mean, he hadn't had many cheap hits in that streak.
The overshift is on. Nobody's at third now for the Nats. Second baseman Escobar is way out into right field. Right to third. They didn't just listen to your scouting report there, Mike. He's 3 for 3, and that's his 20th hit in the last 9 games.
And you know, that's just a hands hit. They expose the left side of the infield with the shift, and he just puts his lower body in sort of auto lock and lets his hands just push the ball to the left side through the defense.
Donovan Solano has struck out looking, and then he hit a line drive to center for an out his last time.
Crawford's now hitting 291.
I wouldn't have given much for his chances to be hitting 271 9 games ago.
Yeah.
He was down in the 250s. He's in an extraordinary hot streak. 1-1 now to Solano. "20 hits in 35 at bats. That's a foul into the second deck. Giants as a team have elevated their team batting average considerably. The Giants, when they got to Washington a month ago, were hitting .233. They came into today's game hitting .245.
That is so hard to do as a group.
In fact, you remember when they were in Washington, they only scored 3 runs in 4 games.
And won 2 of them.
When they left Washington June the 13th, they were hitting .230. That was the team average. That's all for Solano. 2 down. .230. And now a month later, they're hitting .245.
Second time that Solano has struck out on that breaking ball from Fedde. He's not picking up that spin. Ever since Jim Hickey went out and with the bases loaded made a couple suggestions to Fedde, he's been able to apply it. He's no longer pushing his delivery. He's up on top, and he's a different guy than what the Giants saw the first 3 innings.
Duggar, he had a single in the second inning, scored ahead of Casale's home run, and he was called out on strikes in the third. Crawford, the runner at first, 2 down. One ball and no strikes. Fedde at 92 pitches for the game now.
Yeah, you're not seeing any misses up above the belt anymore. They're all down around the bottom of the strike zone, just falling out of the strike zone, which is where a sinker baller wants to be.
Foul ball, 1 ball, 1 strike. He is scheduled to lead off in the 6th inning. So maybe, and considering he's already thrown 93 pitches, they may pinch hit for him. They have their bullpen going right now. Sam Clay, a left-hander, heating up in the pen. 1-1 the count to Duggar. Duggar's trying to get his bat going again. And because he had been really hot for a couple of weeks. There's Clay, the lefty, number 49. The bullpen coach out there with him, Henry Blanco, former catcher.
Alias Hank White.
High in the air, left center, and Harrison, as Robles just kind of stepped aside. Inning over, on to the 6th. 3-0 Giants.
Well, here's a look from the T-Mobile coverage cam, our coverage cam here at Oracle Park. Well, it's the splash cam located high above the right field foul pole. The splash cam provides great shots of the playing field, the Giants dugouts, and of course all the great action in McCovey Cove.
And there is some action out there, as always, especially in a day game. We're in the 6th inning now, and a pinch hitter for Erick Fedde. This is Yadiel Hernandez. Right there in the inside corner for a called strike at 95. Hernandez has been the most often used pinch hitter by manager Davey Martinez. 33 pinch hit at bats. He has a home run, 7 hits. Ryan Zimmerman is the other one. And that floats through there. Strike 2.
So Fedde's day has come to a conclusion. He righted his ship after a rough start. He definitely got it going after that.
Out of play. If it's a right-hander on the mound, Yadiel Hernandez is the #1 choice. If it's a lefty, Davey Martinez likes to go with Ryan Zimmerman.
Yeah, every great pinch hitter I ever played with, Greg Gross, Dwayne Kuiper, Jose Morales, I mean, they all took their time. They all were very relaxed. I think that's one of the things you have to be, some of the things you have to be a good pinch hitter.
Just got a piece of it.
And if you watch Hernandez, I mean, he's very relaxed in the box.
The Giants' most often used pinch hitter, #1 on the list, Austin Slater. He's had 27 pinch hit at bats. The Giants as a team have had more pinch hit appearances than any other team. Off the outside, 1-2. Darren Ruff has had 20 at bats. The Giants have a lot of guys. The Giants have hit the most pinch hit home runs of any team. They've hit 9 pinch hit home runs. 1-2 to Yadiel Hernandez. Going back, Duggar. And he's got it near the warning track. 1 away. Now a word from Lazy Boy.
The red, white, and blue sale. Save up to 30% off store-wide.
Lazy Boy. Live life comfortably.
1 out, nobody on here in the 6th inning. The Giants ahead 3-0. The leadoff man, Alcides Escobar, up now. He is flied out to shallow right and struck out looking. On 1.
Yeah, you just never get tired of watching the performance of that pitch because it's such a weapon, a swing and miss weapon at this level.
Left center field. Dickerson. 2 down. And I give Alcides Escobar credit on that one. The batting average, if an at bat ends on the splitter from Kevin Gausman, coming into this game, the batting average against it is 103. 103.
That's just so uncanny.
2 down, nobody on. Trey Turner, and that's too low. Ball 1. He's also, you know, they talk about getting ahead in the count. When he gets to a 2-strike count, whether it's 0-2, 2-2, 3-2, whatever, if there are 2 strikes, and that's a little bit low. So Turner's ahead of him now, 2-0. Coming into this game, the opponents had 9 hits in 99 at bats after he had gotten to 2 strikes against him. And I suppose a lot of that is the splitter. That, he got the low strike there from Marvin Hudson with the fastball. 2-1. Three nothing Giants. 2 down in the 6th. And that is out of play into the upper deck. Trey Turner, what a year he's been having. 17 homers, 19 steals. Excellent shortstop. Headed to the All-Star game.
Kind of wraps it all up right there when you're describing a guy. He's done this, he's done that. Oh, and he's headed to the All-Star game.
No kidding. Flores, fast runner. He got him. Wimmer's having a game over there with the glove. 3 up, 3 down, 6 shutout innings for Gausman.
Well, experience a game from the 415 section coming to a ballpark near you. Tune in after the All-Star break for more details.
From Oracle Park in San Francisco, the Giants ahead 3-0. As we go to the last of the 6th inning, when it's time for a change, think Speedy Oil Change and Auto Service, your trusted oil change, tune-up, and repair experts.
Austin Voth, the new pitcher now for the Washington Nationals. 30th time he's come into a game. 2-0 on the year. The 3.43 ERA, averaging a strikeout an inning. How does he do it? Well, he's got a good fastball that goes mid to high 90s. He'll cut and sink that fastball. He's got a curveball and a changeup. The big swing of the bat today. It came off the bat of Curt Casali, who unloaded in the 2nd inning. It made the game 3-0 Giants, and Kevin Gausman has made it stand.
Casali was given the automatic walk his next time as he takes ball 1 down and away. One ball, no strikes to Casali. And 2-0. Kevin Gausman due up next, and he comes out of the dugout now.
So Voth, the pitcher, very much like Fedde, is a guy that puts the ball on the ground, but he can also strike you out.
And he gets a strike on that one. 2-1. So Italy beat England
in a shootout. They did.
So they played what, over 120 minutes?
Yeah, very exciting. So the Euro Cup is over.
3-1 the count now.
You know, it's been fun to watch fans come back to the ballparks this year, and you know, we're watching it around the world now.
3-2.
The international tournaments of soccer. And it's just odd that with all the people coming back around the world to stadiums, when the Olympics start in Japan later on this month, no fans are going to be allowed to be there.
And apparently there's a sizable part of the population feels that they should not hold the Olympics in the first place. They were supposed to be last year to begin with. And that is ball 4 to Casali to start the inning here against Voth. Now Gausman in a bunting situation. But if you're one of those athletes who's been training for years and years, already a hardship that they moved it back a year. I suppose performing without crowds better than not being able to perform at all and perform in your event. The bunt goes foul.
Well, you're right. I mean, during the COVID, I mean, we've seen a lot of things that have traditions that have been disrupted, you know, away from the world of sports. If you think about all the graduations that you know, high school graduates, college graduates are not allowed to have the normal graduation. High school football and college football, I mean, all sports really in the amateur levels disrupted.
Voth will go to first. Escobar covering. Well done there by Gausman. Runner at second. 1 out.
Nice job. And he does it on the first pitch, but absolutely helps the momentum of an inning. I mean, you think it's a small thing, but it's not.
His 5th sacrifice bunt of the year. He's tied with DeSclafani for the club lead in that category. They're both 1 ahead of Johnny Cueto. Now Lamont Wade Jr. try and knock him in. 1-1. Wade has drawn a walk, struck out looking, and lined out to left. Giants did all of their scoring in the 2nd inning. A 3-run homer by Casali. Now Casali trying to score the 4th run, and the count is 0-2 to Wade. Arizona with a 2-1 lead over the Dodgers on the out-of-town scoreboard. Last of the 5th inning in LA.
Yeah, trying to recover from last night's loss. Wow. Dodgers beat the Diamondbacks 22-1 last night.
They hit 8 home runs.
Wow.
2 grand slams.
Albert Pujols had 2 home runs.
One of them against Josh Reddick.
The outfielder.
But the series is even at a game apiece. The D-backs beat them the night before. And they are leading back of Merrill Kelly 2-1 today. And our old friend Stephen Vogt hit a home run to tie that game in the 4th inning today. And they got another run knocked in by Van Meter in the 5th inning. That is high and foul and out of play. And in San Diego, Colorado is in a 1-1 tie with the Padres. Last of the 6th inning down there. John Gray, the pitcher today for Colorado. German Marquez, who made the All-Star team, pitched 7 shutout innings against the Padres last night in what ended up being a shutout win. Castro, as Wade pops out, 2 down.
All right, time now for the play of the first half, brought to you by your California Ford dealers. June 15th against the Diamondbacks, down by 3, bottom of the 8th, and Mike Yastrzemski hit his first career grand slam into McCovey Cove off Humberto Castellanos on a 2-1 pitch. It completed a 7-run comeback, and the Giants would go on to win 9-8.
What a game that was. Two down. And a called strike. Slow curveball at 76 from Voth, and it's 0-1. Giants won't be back home for a long time. A week from this coming Friday is the next time the Giants play here at Oracle Park. Friday, July 23rd. 0-2. Giants open up the post All-Star break portion of the season in St. Louis next weekend. From there they go to LA for 4 games before they get home. And when they get home, they play Pittsburgh for the weekend. Then the Dodgers come in, and then the Houston Astros come in. That's the homestand that will finish up the month of July. And the Astros, who've been having a great year, the highest scoring team in either league. As you see how the Nats are playing, aligning their defense against Yastrzemski. 1-2 the count. The bloop. It's falling and caught nicely by Harrison with the Willie Mays style basket catch. Inning over. On to the 7th. Soto coming up, and Dave Fleming will be back with Mike Krukow. 3-0 Giants.
All right, time now for our game summary, brought to you by Toyota. Through 6 full innings of play, it is 3-0 Giants. Take a look at the big highlights today. Well, Kirk Casale, a 3-run homer in the 3rd inning. That has supplied the runs, and Kevin Gausman has been stellar through 6 solid innings. 3-0 Giants, end of 6, on to the 7th, and here to tell you all about it once again, my pal and my partner, Dave Fleming.
I might need one of those chains right there.
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah.
Just subtle, you know. Who are you rooting for today? Juan Soto against Kevin Gausman. Last time the Giants have faced Juan Soto this year in the regular season. He and the Nats still have a chance in that division. It's kind of a mess, the National League East. Big cut.
Yeah, stay tuned. Lots going to happen here in the final couple of months of this season. It's going to be a very interesting division.
They need to get Kyle Schwarber back.
Well, that's absolutely something that worked in the favor of the Giants, considering what he did to him in Washington when they played him. I mean, he was a one-man wrecking crew.
That's when he really got hot, and he kept it going for weeks after that, and then just got hurt. a few days before this series. Oh, Juan Soto, never boring.
No, he is not. Cannot help it.
Josh Bell on deck. Starlin Castro also will hit here in the 7th. 89th pitch for Kevin Gausman. Wow, just missed. 3-1.
Trade deadline is going to have a lot to say with what happens in every division, but I think the National League East maybe a little bit more because really nobody's out of it yet.
Phillies had a nice series win at Fenway, beat the Red Sox today, so they actually jump ahead of Atlanta. They're only 3.5 out behind the Mets at the break. Mets lost to the Pirates today. And for the Braves, that's ball 4, leadoff walk. I mean, just hate to see the news of Ronald Acuna Jr.
That was hard to watch. One of my favorite players to watch.
Tore his ACL. He's going to have surgery and miss the rest of the year.
It's the one thing you just hate about sports is injuries, especially ones that cost a premier player a season, a postseason.
So now Bell, and he takes ball 1.
And you know, too, an ACL injury is one that changes a guy. It does. They may say you're back 100%, but I don't think you ever do come back 100%.
That's a strike. You know, Acuna is the whole reason why. I mean, he's such a talented player in so many ways, but he's got that power speed combo, and you do kind of wonder about the speed part of that. Giants have the big shift on the infield for Bell. Takes that splitter low.
Gausman loves to throw that splitter in this situation because even if it gets hit, it's likely it's going to get put on the ground and he can get a double play out of it.
Two, 1, 2-2. Looks like the Giants are going to get the bullpen started now. I mean, you got Leone, Rogers, and McGee all fresh and ready to go today. Dominic Leone's the guy. Pitch count at 94. It's not like the Nationals have hit Gausman hard, but that's high. So some of these misses now, the command's starting to wobble just a little bit.
Another 3-ball count. And for Gausman, this really becomes the biggest pitch of the game for him so far.
He already walked the leadoff hitter Juan Soto. Now it's 3-2 to Josh Bell. It's ball 4. He's walked 2 in a row. That I would think would be a little bit of a red flag.
So Casali going to take a slow walk by direction from the Giants dugout just to stall and let the bullpen get caught up.
Yeah, I don't think Dominic Leone is totally warmed up yet.
Take about 15 pitches. 15, because all you're trying to do is establish the fastball. Everything else comes after the fact. Whatever you get in the bullpen, you're going to get another bunch out there on the mound when you come into the game.
Starlin Castro's got a hit and has also grounded into a double play in this game. Giants would love to get the ground ball here. Castro likes to be aggressive, but that one has him jumping back out of the way. That missed by a lot.
Leone is ready to go.
Yeah, it's possible this is it for Kevin Gausman. That's a strike. Trying to dig deep here. 98 pitches. This would be 99 to a guy who's been a hot hitter. A little bit low. They're laying off that splitter.
Good pitch, good take.
Strike two.
Big pitch.
Castro's angry.
Taking a walk, shaking his head. You don't need an interpreter to describe what that body language meant.
Two and two. Huge pitch in the game right here. Castro stays alive.
Great split. He just did catch a piece. But when he got that second strike by way of the fastball, it does give him a couple chances to go out of the strike zone. One thing about Castro is he wants to swing it. He knows he's hot. He's trying to tie this ball game up, so he will expand his zone, especially after that second strike was called a strike on him that he didn't agree with, but he knows he has to expand.
Another 2-2. Castro rips it into left field. That's a hit for him. Soto's going to have to stop at third, but the bases are loaded with nobody out. Gabe Kapler's coming out. Dominic Leone is going to inherit a tight spot here. And he makes the call. Kevin Gausman. Next stop, All-Star game, and getting a big ovation from Giants fans. But the bases are loaded when it's time for a change. Think Speedy Oil Change and Auto Service, your trusted oil change, tune-up, and repair experts. Well, it was an interesting moment, wasn't it, Mike?
Well, a great applause from the Giants fans, and then all of a sudden Marvin Hudson, the plate umpire, is going to come out and check him in the middle of Gausman's ovation. A lot of respect there from the fans. You talk about a buzzkill. It's like, yo, Marvin, read the room. You've had 7 innings to check him. That's just ridiculous.
I mean, it is. It just kind of makes everybody look bad.
That's right, Marvin. We all came to see you, buddy.
So now Dominic Leone, who worked some magic on Friday night. Can he do it again? Bases loaded, nobody out. Josh Harrison, the hitter. Fastball for ball one. Not easy when you inherit the bases loaded.
Well, it is the ultimate challenge, and this is his 18th appearance, and he's been throwing the ball great, so he definitely welcomes the opportunity, and every reliever who's throwing well would.
And a pretty tight strike zone. That's one thing you find out when you come in the game. Now it's 2-0. The Nationals are thinking this is their chance right here. On the ground to short. Crawford, that's one. Solano, that's two. Whoa, no. Did Lamont Wade's foot come off the bag?
I think he bobbled it.
So instead of the double play, a run is in and only one out, first and third. Man, that's a big play.
Well, a good feed right up there. Ball goes down and he just drops it. I mean, that's a bad miscue right there. That's not one you normally see.
No, that can't happen. That's a huge spot in this game. 2 outs, runner at third. Feeling pretty good about your chances getting out of this with the lead still intact and hopefully with just the 1 run in. Now Ryan Zimmerman comes up with all his power. Great pitch from Dominic Leone. That's a play that has to be made.
That's one you really can't explain.
So now Ryan Zimmerman, 9 home runs this year in a part-time role. Swings at the first pitch. Fly ball, not deep. Duggar sprinting. Dickerson coming in. Duggar makes a catch. Bell went about halfway. He was not tagging. 2 down.
Well, he had to make up for it with speed, and that's one of his assets.
And thank goodness Dickerson got out of the way.
Well, watch him break right. Now he's got to redirect. It's unusual when he doesn't take a straight route. But with Zimmerman, who's got power, he expected a little more than what he got. But when he finally defined that he had to come in, he closed in a hurry. And Bell had to stay at third.
So 2 down. Victor Robles. Right on the inside corner. Good fastball.
Pounded at 95.
Victor went 0 for 2 against Gausman. Leone trying to keep the Giants ahead in this game. Swing and a miss on the cutter.
And that cutter has definitely been Leone's magic pitch. It's a pitch that he feels confident throwing against righties and lefties.
He's such a good compliment with the slider that he has too. Oh, 2. High with the fastball.
Gausman was outstanding again today. Into the 7th inning, gave his team a lead. 9 strikeouts.
Here's the 1-2. Robles went around. He did. Yes, strike 3. Dominic Leone, terrific again. And maybe now Kevin Gausman can come out and take the rest of that ovation. Kevin Gausman hoping to get his 9th win of the year. Boom, Marvin Hudson. Giants fans are all over him. 3-1 Giants lead.
Hey everyone, don't forget to tune into Giants Post-Game Live Summer Sunday after the game today.
We talk about trades we would make if we were Farhan. Only if we were Farhan. But we also have our home run derby predictions as well.
And we got to mention how Carmen Q was, and always is correct.
Always. Hail Queen Carmen.
Giants Summer Sunday coming to you after the game. Don't miss it.
We won't on this beautiful Sunday with all kinds of kayaks and paddle boards and power boats and sailboats out in McCovey Cove. 3-1 Giants. Nationals threatened big time in the top of the 7th inning. Dominic Leone, just a great job again for the Giants to keep the Giants ahead.
That's the ultimate challenge. Come in with the bases loaded and preserve a lead. And really, I mean, you had to get 4 outs. Right now, it's going to be Daniel Hudson, the new pitcher for the Nationals. When it's time for change, think Speedy Oil Change and Auto Service, your trusted oil change, tune-up, and repair experts. 25th game that he has come into. Daniel Hudson has outstanding stuff, and he has for a long time. And the one thing that he can do, like a lot of guys coming out of that Nationals bullpen, is he can put the ball on the ground. His fastball will go high 90s with sink. Got a hard slider and a changeup to complement that power.
So Hudson, the third pitcher of the game for the Nats. Fedde went 5. Voth pitched an inning. Now Hudson. And Jackson Reitz is in to do the catching, introducing himself to Marvin Hudson. This is just his second big league game. So there's somebody in this ballpark who likes Marvin.
Well, his 3 partners do.
Yeah, I'm teasing. It just Giants fans were not happy. They were trying to give Kevin Gausman a big ovation. And
yeah, that's like this end of this first half that you made the All-Star team ovation.
It was more than just today. It was congratulations on everything. Yeah, that ball's in play. Wilmer Flores didn't know where the ball was, and he hit a comebacker accidentally.
That hurt. That blew his right hand up. And just the buzz on the bat being jammed by a guy with a power sinker. Take a look at the fastball boring right in on the hands. You can see the reaction. Ouch, dropped the bat. That doesn't feel good. And that stays with you. That'll be in his hands when he leaves the ballpark tonight. That's no exaggeration.
Alex Dickerson takes strike 1. Alex has had a good day, even though only 1 hit. Lined out into a double play his first time up, then doubled. And after that, 97-mile-an-hour fastball. Oh, 2. Daniel Hudson's had quite a career. I mean, you mentioned how long he's been around. With some great highs, some real lows, but made comeback from some significant injury problems and was a huge reason why the Nationals won the World Series 2 years ago. Sort of validation for all that hard work I mean, it's not just one injury. He's had a lot of things go wrong over his career.
He's still nasty with velocity and movement. He's not a comfortable at bat. If you don't hit that ball on the sweet spot of the bat against this guy, your hands are going to ring for hours.
The 1-2. Dickerson rips it foul.
Bit of a hang there on that cutter.
Good take. Good luck to the Giants and all their decision makers. The MLB draft first round starts soon.
Yeah, just a few hours away.
Like a half hour.
Just a few minutes away.
I mean, maybe a little longer than that until the Giants pick. The Giants pick 14th. Dickerson strikes out one after that high fastball.
Well, Giants fans, Xfinity Mobile delivers fast nationwide 5G on the most reliable network. Break free from the big three and save with Xfinity Mobile.
Brandon Crawford. It's going pretty good right now for Brandon.
Man, is it ever. I mean, defenses don't even know where to change or to play him. They change just like every at bat now. Before they gave him the left side of the infield, now they've got to close it up at the third baseman. And not that far away from his normal positioning.
3 for 3 today. Brandon takes a big cut
on a changeup. Good one. I think it's the ultimate compliment when a team plays you straight away. considering where the Nationals played him at the start of the series to where they are right now. I mean, that's a dramatic change. It just tells you where Crawford's hitting the ball all over.
He hits that one to right field. Soto was playing way deep and off the line. Kind of took a little funny route to the ball, but he got there. So Crawford makes it out for the first time. We go to the 8th, 3-1 Giants. Giants trying to finish out the so-called first half with a flourish. Chance for a sweep against the Nats. It's 3-1 as we go to the 8th inning here at Oracle Park. When it's time for a change, think Speedy Oil Change and Auto Service, your trusted oil change, tune-up, and repair experts. So after Dominic Leone did great work out of the Giants bullpen, now Tyler Rogers takes over. What a first half it's been for Tyler. 41 appearances. This would be number 42, a 1.50 ERA. Just the 23 strikeouts, but only 7 walks. Tough to hit. Jackson Reitz, who came in to catch after they hit for Barrera, he takes strike 1, the fastball from Rogers. I mean, Tyler's found a way to pitch through it, but his last few outings, he's been in some tight spots. He just hasn't quite been as sharp. That's a good pitch. It's 0-2.
Well, when he's sharp, he gets big sink. He gets ground balls. And like every other pitcher, when he gets a little out of whack, he starts to elevate, and all of a sudden those ground balls become line drives. And it also seems to run hand in hand that you just don't get on top of hitters.
0-2. Reitz flips one into left center field. Over and under. That's Austin Slater now out there for the Giants, just in the game for defense. 1 away in the game, and you have to make a play.
I think Tyler Rogers will like that start. Got a quick 0-2, and then he got an off-balance swing.
Here's Alcides Escobar. You sort of take Tyler for granted because of his mechanics and the fact that he pitches at the velocity that he does, and you just kind of assume he can just keep doing that, just, you know, never waver. But he's like any other pitcher or player. Sometimes you're feeling it, sometimes you're not quite as perfect.
You're throwing, it's a motor skill, and it can come and go.
Call the ball. That's a strike.
Take a look at the release and how low he goes, and he could go a little bit lower too. I mean, he can really get down there like that.
Yeah,
that was good sink there. But it's cool. I mean, he, on a suggestion from a teammate, they said, you know, why don't you start wearing white shoes, because you're so low with your release. That baseball's white, same color as white shoes. I mean, it gives a hitter a lot of things to see that are white. Well, they finally found a uniform that goes good with his white shoes.
2-2, a little squib shot out to second. Solano throws him out. 2 down. I think it was Slater who made the suggestion.
It would figure to come from a guy from Stanford who would pay attention to the little details.
Yeah, I agree.
But it is a great suggestion.
So now Turner. For Turner and Soto being all the way here, a long way from home at the All-Star break. Not the worst thing, because they're going to Colorado. Here's a called strike. For everybody else, it's a long trip home after this game to start the break.
Yeah, that's the one thing you look at as a player when you see the schedule. Where are we at the end of the first half? Are we on the road? How far are we away from home? Well, for the Nationals, you almost couldn't get much farther.
0-2. Rogers trying to make this a 1-2-3 8th inning and avoid having to face Soto as the tying run. Here's his 2-strike pitch. Struck him out swinging. He got the All-Star to chase up. Tyler Rogers, very strong inning. Giants take a 3-1 lead to the bottom of the 8th.
3-1 Giants. We're in the bottom of the 8th inning. Now time for a safety message brought to you by the California State Parks Division of Boating and Waterways, reminding you to always wear your life jacket and get home safe.
It's that time of year.
Waterways are filling up. It's been hot. People want to cool off. Be careful. Be smart.
Yeah, and we are, you know, it's easy for us to just sort of sit back here. By the way, when it's time for a change, think Speedy Oil Change and Auto Service, your trusted oil change, tune-up, and repair experts. Kyle Finnegan comes in for the Nationals. It's so cool here in San Francisco, 60 degrees at game time, scorching hot for lots of Giants fans all around Northern California. Stay safe. We could use a little life jacket out in the Cove. We got just about everything else out there.
Having a beer and a schmag.
Just a normal Sunday for that guy. Donovan Solano against Finnegan.
Saw the slider from Kyle Finnegan. Finnegan, another guy with good stuff coming out of that Nationals pen. He'll give you mid to high 90s with his fastball. Slider changeup.
Oh, 2.
Nationals have a good bullpen. We haven't even seen Brad Hand, the closer in this series.
Yeah, ultimately that's a good thing for the Giants. They've had the lead late in the game. Oh for 3 today for Donovan Solano. Buzzed him.
That's when you take a little walk for one reason. Regain your composure, because number one, you're ticked off. Anything that kind of sells up around your chin or above, you have a tendency to remember that for about 30 years.
Solano takes strike 3 called. That's the 3rd time Donovan Solano has struck out in this game.
So that winds up being a rough at bat. Just comes back on the outside corner with backdoor sink at 96.
Last time the Giants and the Nationals will play in the regular season here today in 2021. Duggar takes a strike. I think that's the splitter that Finnegan throws. Kevin Gausman sure threw a lot of good splitters again today. Gausman in line to get his 9th win, heading to the All-Star game after the game.
Came right out in the first inning, established all of his stuff early. I mean, he was fantastic.
Duggar fouls that one back out of play.
And he got some really great help out of the bullpen from Dominic Leone, who came into a bases loaded, nobody out situation in the 7th inning. And the Nationals could only score 1. And Leone basically had to get 4 outs. And got him.
Hard to do much better than Dominic Leone did today. The 1-2. Duggar slashed it foul. We were talking about how the draft starts shortly. The Giants pick 14th. Giants, all the decision makers, because the Giants like to bring in all the scouts, let everybody be together. For the draft is almost like, you know, it's a culmination of so much work from so many people. So they bring everybody together, and they're doing that in Arizona. So the Giants are all down. They have their draft war room down at the complex in Arizona. 2-2 to Duggar.
It's such an exciting time, and it's such a great tradition. I mean, it's been cut in half. I mean, they only have 20 picks this year.
Yep.
I mean, back in the day, they'd have 50. 50 picks meant that a couple of your relatives were going to get drafted, maybe a neighbor or two. But it's a different deal when you're picking 20. Although better than last year when they picked 5.
5 rounds last year. This seems like what it's going to be like going forward. Duggar strikes out swinging on a high fastball.
Well, we've got a new kind of Giants pre and post game show. It's Giants Summer Sunday, featuring Therese Vignal, Cole Kuiper, Carmen Pugh, and Anthony Garcia. Before and after every Sunday Giants game all summer long. And coming up next right here, you'll see Summer Sunday on NBC Sports Bay Area.
Cole, Cole wasn't ready. Cole, you got to be faster. This is a broom, really. Don't count your brooms before you finish the sweeping.
Exactly. Not an easy thing to do.
Curt Casali, another terrific day for him. 3-run homer for all the Giants offense right now. Giants have had a lot of chances, especially early in the game. He's also walked twice. He's going to feel so much better about things at the All-Star break than he was feeling even just a couple weeks ago.
No question. No question. Gotten hot, has had a lot of big hits. Certainly the one today, a 3-run homer in the second inning.
Oh, 2 against Finnegan. Strike 3 called. So a 2-run lead is going to have to be enough for the Giants. Jake McGee is going to come in and try to finish off the first half with a save. Giants 3, Nationals 1. All right, here we go. 9th inning from Oracle Park in San Francisco on this Sunday afternoon. Giants have a chance to sweep the Nationals here, but still 3 outs to go against the middle of the order, and it's the closer, Jake McGee. 18 saves in 20 chances, looking for save number 19.
Solid body of work for McGee in the first half. This will be appearance number 38. Been very, very good. He is going to take on the heart of the beast, the 3, 4, 5 guys of this Nationals lineup. Lots of power.
So Juan Soto will try to get things started. Soto has not made it out in this game against Gausman. Had a hit. It was an infield hit. And has drawn a couple of walks. Against McGee. 9th inning. Strike 1. Good start for Jake.
Strike 1 out of the bullpen is such a big pitch for every bullpenner that ever lived. It just calms you down.
That's strike 2. Soto's asking, was it a swing or called a strike? It was going to be called a strike.
Not that far away from where strike 1 was called.
No. Great pitch.
All right, let's take a look if he went after it on a swing. 50-50 zone. Didn't matter. In the box. Go right up there again.
0-2. Well.
Goes into his 2-strike protective stance, spread wide. He'll take no stride in this swing.
Strike 3 called, 97, right on the outside.
I think he may have ticked off Jake McGee a little bit, because that had a competitive feel to it. 97 on the outside corner at the knees. Grab some pine. Meat.
Big first out to get through Soto. Now Josh Bell bats right-handed. And ideally you liked him to hit from this side. Right through a fastball. Well, Jake McGee, we've seen that slider a little more often lately, but today he's throwing 97. We may not have to see it much.
Definitely know when you have a good fastball working, and he's got one working today.
Bell foul tipped it. 0-2. McGee checking on Casali, make sure he's okay.
I mean, he could go on back foot slider here, and he will chase down below, or you could just keep climbing the ladder. The thing about Bell is he'll chase out of the zone on both sides, below and above.
0-2. Castro waiting on deck. Nationals down to their final 2 outs. Giants have already guaranteed the best record at the break in big league baseball, looking for win number 57. Way high. That's 2 in a row up there.
Just 2 overthrows. 0-2 can do that to you. 1-2 can do it at you. Sally might think about a slider here just to get away from the release, to get him back to where he finishes out front with his release point.
He got through Soto. He was ahead of Josh Bell. 0-2. Looks like they want the fastball, and it's up and away again. That's 3 in a row up there.
Well, 3 easy takes. Go 0-2 to a 3-2 count. You want one of those pitches out of the strike zone to be tempting, and they weren't.
Three and 2. Bell pops it up. Wade gave it a look, but that one's well beyond his reach. Josh Bell stays alive. Another 3-2 from Jake McGee. Bell fouls this one off. He had a little better cut at that one. Somebody made a good play.
Brought his glove. Hug from his buddy. And look at Madison Bumgarner up there clapping for him.
Bum's aged a little since we last saw him. Josh Bell hanging in there, having a battle here with McGee. 3-2 on the ground, up the middle. Solano on the backhand. 2 down.
That was a nice regroup. I mean, you lost an 0-2 count, pushed it to a 3-2 count, missed it badly on 3 pitches. And then you persevere through a little bit of a foul ball war, and you wind up getting the ground ball for an out. Nice comeback and a good get.
So now the last chance for the Nationals is Starlin Castro here in the 9th inning. Sally and McGee just going through things here. Make sure. All right, now Giants fans, been kind of a, it's a Sunday afternoon feel here. Just a comfortable day at the ballpark. Now they're going to make some noise here, looking for the final out. Ball one.
McGee slowing everything down. One thing you learn when you get to the 9th inning, you don't want to be in a hurry.
The 1-0. That's right there.
Bruce Sutter used to say, 9th inning, you have to learn how to enjoy it. You think with all the pressure, you just want to find out how the book's going to end, and you have to find a way to enjoy it. Slow it down.
Castro to right field, hit well. Yastrzemski's going to turn and watch it. It's off the bricks. Castro will make it into second, and the game's not over yet. Another hit for him. His 3rd of the day, a 2-out double.
He swung the bat all series. This one of his more impressive one. He takes 96 right down the middle. A challenge with a 2-run lead. And just lets it travel deep. Gives you an idea how much pop he's got the other way. Backspin it right off the wall. Beautiful job from Yastrzemski playing it off the carom.
Well, Josh Harrison, he is the tying run, and he's got some power. Mostly pull power for Josh Harrison. Gerardo Parra's come out on deck, 2 down, and a ball down and in. Giants defense. Solano's shaded toward the middle. The outfield straight away. 1-0. Right there on the inside.
Hudson had to think about it. Corner pitch. They set an outside target. It winds up going on the inside part of the plate. Casale had to kind of snag it. Could really get his glove over there in time to frame it.
The 1-1. Harrison, a liner right to Solano for out number 3. And that's how the Giants head into the All-Star break with a win and a 3-game sweep of the Washington Nationals. 3-1 the final score.
Well, what a way to go into the All-Star break. You've had the best record in baseball, and you have played like you deserve the best record in baseball. Contribution from all parts of this Giants game. Great starting pitching from Kevin Gausman. Relief very, very solid. Coming up with one big hit back in the 2nd inning, a 3-run shot by Curt Casale, and the pitching just made it stand. And once again, it becomes redundant, but they played another great game defensively.
So your All-Star gets the win. Your All-Star shortstop gets 3 hits and plays more good defense. And your All-Star catcher isn't in the lineup, so your backup catcher pretends he's Buster Posey.
All in a day's work.
Pretty good formula. The Giants beat the Nationals by the final score of 3-1. Thanks for joining us. Stay tuned for Giants Summer Sunday presented by Toyota starting right now.